Now, gents, we actually have a question from our hotline for the both of you. His name is Sam, and he asks, has the manager taken the club as far as he can? And if Spurs don't make the top four, is his position in danger?
Well, let's do the last bit first. Is Pochettino's position in danger at Spurs? Absolutely not. You know, the guy's done brilliantly for 5 years. Absolutely brilliantly. He's moved them on. Has he taken them as far as the club can go? No, I don't believe so. They're just about to go into a brand new stadium with a 62,062 person capacity.
Yeah.
You know, the old White Hart Lane had about 38,000 capacity. It's taking them on into other areas. So the answer to your question is no, he hasn't taken them as far as they can go. You know, they really do need to finish in the top four at the end of this season because they need to be playing Champions League football next season.
Yeah, I think Gary's right. I agree with everything he said. I think they need to be definitely getting the Champions League. That's still difficult in my opinion. I think it still might be a task for them. But they need to recruit as well. They need to get in the Champions League, then try and recruit players because they do need to strengthen that squad.
But if they don't have Champions League next season, they will be losing players. It will be hard to bring them in, especially now with the new stadium. What can Pochettino do?
Well, that's what happens if you don't get in the Champions League. Then you've got an opportunity. Well, you could lose some of your better players, and you're also going to struggle to bring players in recruitment. So it is huge that you do get in, but it's the same for all the managers, isn't it? At that level,
it's quite a situation.
Yeah. So you know that applies to the other three teams who are trying to get in those last two spaces. You know,
I think even more so for Spurs,
Arsenal,
doesn't it? You don't think because of the new stadium, the investment they've just had, will they lose more players if they don't get in the Champions League? I think it's more at risk for Spurs than there is for the other clubs. Just you know, with the new stadium, and would they lose Harry Kane? Would they lose Eriksen? Would they lose these players if they didn't get in the top four?
Speaking of more at risk for Spurs, Liverpool, of course, still in the running for the title. But which is more disappointing, Liverpool losing the title this season or Spurs dropping out of top four? Which is
obviously for me, Liverpool losing the title, isn't it? No, I think they've been on such a roller coaster, Liverpool, haven't they? And we've seen again today. They had that great position where we had the good lead in the title race, and then City have clawed it back, and there'll be plenty more twists and turns to go. But I think for Liverpool not to win it now, for the fans and for the people of Liverpool, it would be absolutely gutting. Because they've put so much into it, and to get so close to Man City is such an achievement nowadays because of the squad and the team that Guardiola has.
Yeah, it's huge for both clubs, isn't it? Because you know Liverpool for so many.
If you had to pick one, Gary, which would it be? If you had to pick one, which was more disappointing?
From a personal perspective, it's very easy, isn't it? You know, having spent 7 years at Spurs, you know, my heart is closer to Spurs than it is to Liverpool. So you know, the most disappointing for me would be Spurs not finishing in the top four.
Would the answer be the same from a neutral perspective?
Well, does a neutral really care? I don't know. Does a neutral...
That's a good response.
But I think a neutral wants this title race to go to the last game of the season, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
Liverpool and Man City to battle it out to the end of the season. We don't want City to have it wrapped up, you know, in a couple of games, or Liverpool. We want it to keep going. For Liverpool, obviously, fans want it to be wrapped up as soon as possible. Yeah. But Liverpool are back in front. City have got to go again now. Liverpool have got the lead, so it's the ball's back in their court.